This video is going to be a hogposh of Republican cope as they try to save face and defend the absurdity of Trump's recent cabinet selections, reaching for yes-men loyalists and establishment warmongers to the surprise of nobody, except maybe the most brainwashed members of the cult who thought he actually was going to be anti-war and anti-establishment, which is topped off with picks like Tulsi Gabbard, Russian puppet, Putin puppet for national intelligence, and RFK Jr. for health, the health conspiracy nut. So let's see what Republicans who will be voting on these selections in the Senate have to say about them.
The scientific and medical community has been clear for years that what he says about vaccines, childhood vaccines, is false. They don't cause autism. There's no direct link. Does that bother you at all?
Look, Jake, in the election, Donald Trump won the popular vote. And one of the things that he promised on the campaign trail is to have a serious and thoughtful conversation about vaccines, especially after the pandemic. Mandatory vaccines is a topic that a lot of American voters want us to tackle on Capitol Hill. So I imagine this will be a big topic of discussion in the confirmation hearings. But remember, it's Congress that makes policy and works with the President Trump, to carry out his agenda.
Schools have had vaccine mandates for decades, and they are the reason we were so effectively able to rid of things like measles, polio, whooping cough, to name a few, right? Other large epidemics as well, because before science became a political topic, we as a society understood the importance of herd immunity, and especially of protecting the most vulnerable members of our society from diseases that they might be susceptible to. But now the current Republican Party and MAGA voters and parents want to turn schools into the Wild West, where good luck sending your kid to public school. If he doesn't get shot by the guns that MAGA is going to allow into these schools, who knows if the kid sitting next to him is going to be healthy, or if he's going to have measles or polio or God knows what next that you're going to have to just, suffer from them. Maybe even COVID.
What will happen with that House ethics report that was supposed to come out Friday? Remember, Gaetz had been accused of things and no prosecution had been continued. It had been dropped. But Dick Durbin's trying to get his hands on that report, obviously, to leak it out to hurt President Trump. What is your sense on that?
Well, it's my understanding that is not supposed to go public. So if it's not supposed to under the rules, it shouldn't go public. And what I know about Matt Gaetz is one of the best members we had on our committee. In my time in Congress, which has been a while, I don't know, there are very few people who have the cross-examination skills he does. And I want someone in the Justice Department who's not going to say moms and dads at school board meeting needs to be investigated. I want someone at the Justice Department who's going to say it's wrong for the FBI to do a memorandum and say that pro-life Catholics are extremists. I want someone at the Justice Department who can tell us who planted the pipe bombs on January 6th.
I mean, he literally gave the game away right there. This is how all of MAGA feels. He doesn't care that Matt Gaetz is an alleged child predator and sex trafficker. None of that matters. As long as he'll target the Democrats and these culture war issues instead of focusing on Republicans for their crimes or the ones that they're committing, he's going to support them then because, it's our side versus theirs. And that's why he's going to let Matt Gaetz become AG. To me, you're a public servant. You're now up for appointment for AG of the United States of America. If you've been investigated, I think it's all of our business at that point. Let us all know at that point. I mean, it's only right that the public gets to see what they found in that investigation. You want to be our attorneys general, let's see what you're up to, right? Why is it something that Republicans want hidden anyway? You know that if it was a Democrat, they would be begging for it to be leaked. You remember when Biden for the documents, right? They were like, release the video. We have the transcript, but we need the video of this investigation and all of this. And they're like, well, it's, we're not going to do that. And he's the sitting president. And now they're like, well, we can't let Matt Gaetz' investigation go public. I wonder what's changed.
And what if Senate Republicans don't confirm him?
Well, then they have to deal with Donald Trump, and they'll have to deal with Elon Musk and his great new PAC. So, and the American people, this is a mandate.
This is authoritarianism in front of our eyes. Marjorie Taylor Greene in broad daylight stating if you go against Trump's appointments, him and Elon will have millions of dollars spent through his PAC to primary you out of power. This is erasing away at the checks and balances in the government, where the purpose of Senate confirmations on appointments is to moderate and check the president. That's literally the purpose of it. Not to just allow any unqualified person in, not for him to get a majority and them to say, yeah, now you can do whatever you want. People who are comfortable with this and this kind of worldview and what this is what they want, just literally want to anoint a king. Like, it's actually scary how little MAGA values the checks and balances of the government and how much they want to centralize all power into the executive. Again, anointing a king. And with things like this coming out before we've even had the changing of the guard, I just hope that we make it through these next 4 years with any of our core American values still intact.